Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessATrader.com nightly wrap-up show. If everybody is doing well, guys, take a second out, like the channel, support. If you're seeing us for the first time, thank you very much for spending a few moments with us. All I ask is click that like button. Again, I'll hopefully take care of the rest. So, as you can pretty much imagine, pretty quiet day generally. Again, we'll get through some things in a second. Pretty quiet day generally leading up to tomorrow's FOMC meeting. As you can imagine, right, the Republicans, especially the Republicans, the Trump administration, have been calling for rate cuts now for a while. Tomorrow is probably the best opportunity. I believe it's the street is expecting a 25 basis point cut. Basically, nothing really to talk about there. The market's either going to price in this last move into this cut or it's not. I mean, there's nothing really to discuss. 3-month mortgages dropped today. I have no idea what that means or how it's relevant to what I'm about to talk about, but I want this, look smart for 3 seconds. So there you go. That's the useless information of the day. So let's talk about the tape, right? Let's talk about the tape. NASDAQ up 9 days in a row, was getting a little bit frothy, was getting a little bit out of control. The NASDAQ today is along with the index, regular major benchmarks, just took a day off, Tesla continued to be, well, the runaway train, right? We saw some pretty aggressive call buying today, end of the month, 470s, pretty big bets. I mean, again, I don't have a position on this thing right now. I got out of my runner yesterday after a monster move. I would love to see some sort of weakness in the stock just to buy back, right? Just to buy it back. As you can see here, usually I use the barometer of maybe like the 5-day for a balance, but the 5-day moving average, man, it's like 45 points below. That's a big move. So I'm going to try to use any type of weakness, profit taking, or just gravity, literally gravity, to kind of find an entry. Is there a possible way maybe we get a back test gravity trade to the downside? Yeah, I'll be looking for that as well. But Tesla continues to be just an absolute monster. Finally got above the May highs and yada, 85 points. We are here. Let's talk about some names that we saw some pretty aggressive call buying for, okay? Let's start out with Meta. So Meta now is above this whole range that started in August. Okay, we saw this morning really aggressive 780 call buying, and then we saw a really big buyer come in. Okay, for the 800s, in October, right? We saw the 800 calls come in very aggressively. Now, why is that important? Why does anybody care? Well, if you guys have been watching the whole, I don't want to use the word saga, it's only been 24 to 48 hours, but there's obviously some sort of interest that a potential suitor could be involved in the corporate structure to take over, or at least a controlling stake in TikTok, right? Again, the White House is trying to kind of broker it. And everybody was looking at Oracle, right? Everybody was looking at Oracle. And again, reports came out that Oracle, along with Silver Lake Partners, are going to be the group that leads to take about 80% stake in the crowd. Having said that, right, the market right away after that last push on the gap up of news, they started selling Oracle, even though it still was up $4 in the day. Oracle at one point got all the way up to 320. And there's obviously another player in the crowd. As everybody knows, Zuckerberg is in front of the White House, right? And the same time, towards the end of the day, Meta gets a spike. Again, we're just talking out loud. Does that mean that there is a potential that Meta joins in on the TikTok purchase? Your guess is as good as mine. But again, we're speaking strictly on data. 780 weeklies came in pretty aggressive, and the October 800 calls came to follow. So again, something to be very, very conscious about. Mara, right? Look at Mara. Mara is one of the stepchildren of the whole Bitcoin uh, derivative play revolution. Mara got above today the 50-day moving average. Again, very, very important. Notable buyers came in, guys. We saw some 1850 weeklies. We saw some October 10 expiration for the 1950 weeklies. Bitcoin right now starting to get a little bit more firmer. Is it possible it starts taking out the previous highs? Very, very possible. Again, you can see the aggressive nature of Mara today, especially with the option flow coming in. BMNR, something for you guys to watch, right? Something for you guys to watch. BMNR had two really, really explosive runs. The first one in end of June, July, and the second one from August. It went from basically, 31 to 74, okay? But two buyers came in and they were really notable today. A buyer came in for the 61 weeklies. Why is that important? Well, the stock closed under 56. And also he came in with size. Again, when you're looking for call buying, and then, again, this is what really drove Tesla. If you guys remember, they were coming for millions and millions of dollars of deep out of the money calls in Tesla, and it finally went. So the notable buyer that came in on BMNR came in for the January 65 calls for $3.1 million. Yes, that's a big, big bet. Definitely a name to keep an eye on. Only reason why it stopped today was the upper Bollinger Band. If this upper Bollinger Band gets reclaimed tomorrow, man, this thing could really wake up. The volume today was really, really aggressive. Again, name definitely to watch in the next couple of days. Let me give you guys some other names, right? Let me give you guys some other names, potential for tomorrow. Ahead of the Fed, and again, 25 basis points seems like a reasonable potential for tomorrow's announcement. Look at Docu. Okay, not a great trading stock. Okay, as you can see, it kind of blew up on earnings, and a couple of times it tried to get above water and then kind of died. As you can see here, it got rejected off the 200-day SMA twice in the last month. Okay, you can see it. You rejected it once, rejected twice. Keep an eye on this thing for the next couple of days. If this thing gets it back above the 200-day moving average, this thing can wake up. Okay, look at CLSK. Big move today, right? Big move today above the 50-day moving average. First close above the 50-day moving average. Keep an eye on this thing for tomorrow, guys. If this thing could get above the August range, this thing might have a day two. Definitely one to watch there as well. And the last, let me give you two more. PLTR is getting really, really tight. Okay, really, really tight. I was very, very surprised. It did not have a move up today, okay, but it's resting. And the most important part is in the last 4 days, it's putting in higher lows off the 5-day moving average. And you can see it hit the orange line bounce, hit the orange line bounce, hit the orange line bounce, and hit the orange line bounce again. I want to watch this thing in the next couple of days. If this thing could get back above this upper Bollinger Band, kind of the same thing as BMNR, if it could get back above this upper Bollinger Band, we saw some pretty good 175 and 180 short-term call buying come in for the name. So again, all it needs is that next level burst. Okay, it's been kind of consolidating now for the last couple of days. It's doing very, very well. It did not sell off today with some dumping of the futures. And the most important part is just logical speaking, whatever doesn't go down when the market goes down could go. Right. So again, one to watch for tomorrow. And the one that's starting to worry me is NVDA. And the reason why I'm saying that is, so I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. Again, if you've been watching the broadcast for the last few days, you know NVIDIA has been above the 50-day moving average. The problem is now, unlike PLTR that's putting in 4 consecutive days of lower highs, this thing's putting in 4 consecutive days of lower highs, right? Excuse me. PLTR put in 4 consecutive days of higher lows. This is the opposite. It's putting in now 4 consecutive days of lower highs. And the moral of the story is, you see how it keeps on closing at the 50-day moving average, and now it's tested the 50-day moving average now twice in the last couple of days. That's not a good thing, guys, right? That's not a good thing because if it loses the 50-day moving average, look what happened last time when it lost it. It went from 173 all the way down to 164 in 3 days. So if you're a bull, the last thing you want to do is for NVIDIA to lose the 50-day, but I'm going to watch it. I'm definitely going to watch it for tomorrow. And if this thing starts losing the 50-day moving average, that could give us a downside trade. So that's it, guys. That's it. Hope everybody is doing well. Stay patient. Remember, you don't need to trade every single day. Can I possibly see the market going into a stalemate all morning tomorrow? Sure. I'm sure you'll catch something. Obviously being prepared. But the point is, this is the first time in a long, long time that there's an actual potential of a rate cut. So there is going to be a lot of people just waiting to see it actually how the market plays out. Guys, God bless everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. And I'll catch you guys on the field tomorrow. Take care.